Grand Rising. So I'm about to give you a couple examples because I do it all the time. I do it all the time. One, I'm talking to a screen. I mean, you're there, but I'm talking to a screen. So ultimately, I'm not engaging in an active conversation. And a lot of the times I'll interrupt myself, or I just don't like complete a full thought. So the very first example happened yesterday when I said the kindergartners don't go to school all week.
Well, I did.
Be quiet. I said the kindergartners don't go to school all week. If you're just like, if you don't know, that would sound like I'm saying that they never go to school all week, when I meant they don't go to school all week this week. They do go to school Monday through Friday, except for this week. That's like an example of like leaving out the details, right? So someone around here who heard that could very well have said like, she's lying. She doesn't even know what she's talking about. They go to school every day. Why would she say that? Like, okay. In regards to, there was a, and like this and like that. And in that video, I said that he was the first person to like not press sex, but that's not true. The full thought of that is he was the first person to not press it and literally not press it, right? So like all these other people would like, oh, I'm trying to get with you. I'm not trying to get with you. I'm not worried about that. And then literally the same day we hang out, they try it. Whereas his was prolonged. It took a long time. And even then, when I say it's a long time, it really isn't a long time. 2 months is not a long time. So that would be an example of like how all the details are not really provided, and it could make it seem like, you know, I'm embellishing or fabricating because you've already heard stories of people doing what I was claiming he was the first to not do. He actually didn't make an advance. That's what was important about that. Like he said he wasn't interested in that, and then he did not make an advance. Whereas other people said they were not interested in that and they made an advance immediately, right? And that's why the man of the hour was also the second, because I was the one that made the advance. But when given the opportunity to be friends, that is what he chose. So those are the only two people that really didn't do that. But if I'm not explaining it and giving you all of these details, then it kind of sounds like contradictory, redundant, whatever words you put there. But these are my own examples. So think of how many times that happens, especially because I'm by myself. I'm just talking to a screen. So I've mentioned this issue before though. I do not complete my thoughts. I always say things as if you know. Aaron does go to school again this week. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, I did that to Natanya. Natanya thinks he doesn't go to school again until Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless somebody is engaging and asking questions, sometimes people do have a tendency to cut themselves short, to interrupt themselves and shit like that. That's why I write it down. That is why I write it down, to try to make sure I get the entire and full thought. I write it down because, like I said, I'm always interrupted. The conversation really essentially never ends. For someone who's been through the amount of trauma that I've been through, like it's like a never-ending story. So if you try to sit down and tell someone a story, most of the time it never gets completed because you know, people do have questions. And then you get off topic and you move over here. You try to get back to the point of the story, and you miss some stuff. It's very common. That's why my channel is scripted. It's scripted so that, because I've never been able to really like tell my story. So I write it down, and even when I write it down, I still miss details because it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. So, you know, I thought of that this morning when I was watching back yesterday's videos, was like, oh, I did it. I did it. I did it right here, right there. It's so easy to do. It doesn't mean, I'm fabricating or anything either. But I want you to consider that. These are just things to consider when you're talking to someone that you may have heard something about. At no point in time does anybody really ever have the full story. Even when people write biopics and biographies, they have to cut some of that short. You will never have the full story of someone's life, ever. It's impossible. There's too many details. Like when giving those examples of how the details could be removed and added, there are so many details that still, when I took off my shoes, I untied them. You know what I'm saying? I picked them up and I put them on the step. See, all I said was I put them in their designated area. You know what I'm saying? There are so many finite details to an experience. You'll never have all of the details. And so with one person, they may get those small details. I know I keep repeating it, but it's very important because some of y'all are stubborn. I see what happens here. Like when a lesson gets drawn on for a couple days, it's because you really need like that reinforcement, that to understand like it is impossible to have every detail of an experience of someone else's. Even in your own experience, you will leave out details. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Andrew. So it's very important that we do not confine people to that expectation. You know what I'm saying? So that is all I have to say now. And later on today, I will have your the rest of this week's lessons. It'll be done today. That's what's up today, Andrew. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.